So, now, we do have the couplings we need to send back to the engineers. We'll just have to deliver that to them back on the Normandy. Then, other than that, yeah, we picked up Zaid. Before he was hired by Cerberus, Zaid had taken a mission to go to Zoria and liberate an Eldfell Ashland refinery from the Blue Suns. Once his work there was done, he can dedicate his full attention to the mission. So this was the thing that, of course, we did successfully recruit Zaid, but he made mention of something else that was perhaps of interest to him. If we travel to Zoria, that's the location of it, and land near the Eldfell Ashland refinery, then we can see if we can resolve this thing that Zaid is interested in. Then we learn about Aria Talok, the ruler of Omega. She wants all-important new arrivals to pay their respects to her at Afterlife. She may be a valuable source of information, so probably is worth making a point of talking to her here. So, let us head back up now that we have poked around a bit here, completed a quest, bought a lot of stuff, spent a lot of money. The end is nigh. That much is definitely true. But let's see if we can find our way to Aria here. Of course, main entrance was over here. Ah, here's Gavorn, okay. The guy that we had heard someone talking about previously.
Captain Gavorn, head of the Vorchet task force. Got something to report?
Yeah. What are the Vorcha up to, and what are you doing here?
There's an awful lot of Vorcha here. What are they planning?
Vorcha? Plan? They're a pestilence, nothing more. If they started planning, we'd all be in big trouble.
And so the Vorcha is the species that we were talking to briefly before, or we talked to a person who was a Vorcha earlier. The person that left after we just spoke to them briefly. So, what exactly do you do here?
What's your job here exactly?
Keep the Vorcha in line. Keep them out of Aria's sight. That's about it.
Alright, I suppose that is fairly simple, and that would, I suppose, explain some of the reason for the Vorcha talking about this guy before. So yeah, I get we might have missed potentially a little side quest of sorts there, which is unfortunate. I did not really mean to commit to such a conversation before we had perhaps done the necessary background beforehand. But I did not realize at the time was the case.
Come on, let me in.
They're lining up trying to get in, and
Aria's expecting me.
Aria is expecting that dude?
If she were expecting you, you'd be inside.
Ooh.
You've let 10 people in while I've been standing here.
Uncaring. They were VIPs.
Sorry,
You've let
dude.
10 people in while I've been standing here.
Okay.
Uncaring.
And let's see if we can get in ourselves. Oh. That's
See me over here?
pretty intense. Okay. Cool. Got some people chilling out here in the, well, they're not chilling. They're roasting out here. And, well, in case it wasn't clear, Afterlife is a nightclub
Don't look at me like that.
with some interesting ambiance to it as well. Let's see. Got a few people we can chat with here, although I think people have said that Aria was on the second floor.
I'm busy.
Sorry. And so over here as well.
You want to talk? Talk to Aria.
Alright, if you insist. And you know what? We've not really been doing any saving thus far at all. That's probably something we should do, especially because, you know, we're going about doing some of these quests and there's potential for us to have, you know, maybe mess some small things up here and there. don't know definitively, but and that might be the kind of thing where being able to, you know, revert back a little bit and just check ourselves could be worth doing. Well, I think we found Aria.
That's close enough.
Oh! Hello! So that's how it is, huh?
Stand still.
What's the scan for?
If you're looking for weapons, you're not doing a very good job.
Can't be too careful with dead specters. That could be anyone wearing your face.
I was
Oh.
told you're the person to talk to if I have questions.
They're clean.
Depends on the questions.
You run Omega?
I am Omega.
Oh! That's one way to put it.
But you need more. Everyone needs more something, and they all come to me. I'm the boss, CEO, queen, if you're feeling dramatic. It doesn't matter. Omega has no titled ruler and only one rule. Don't fuck with Aria.
Okay. Suppose that's simple enough.
I like it. Easy to remember.
If you forget, someone will remind you.
And then I toss your sorry ass out the nearest airlock.
So, what can I do for you?
Yeah, we got some questions. I suppose maybe we start with, just general background about you.
Tell me how you got set up here.
That's as privileged as information gets. I have many friends and enemies I keep at varying distances. I don't count you among either. We'll see how useful you prove. Short answer, mind your own damn business.
Alright, sure. What about the station? Omega as a whole?
So, you must know what's what on Omega.
Everything that's worth knowing. I don't usually give it out freely. Information is power. Mundane things you can find yourself. Take a walk in a back alley or buy one of the mercs a drink. Better yet, talk to the entertainers. They give great tours. Just don't waste my time.
Okay, well, we'll continue to waste your time by asking about your indifference.
One scan and we're straight to business. People are usually more concerned about who I am.
Your death was downplayed, but hardly what I call a secret. I had to make sure it was really you. You could have been anyone, anything. Whatever you need will come out on its own. I'm curious, but Omega doesn't really care about you.
I mean, you say that, but I'm pretty sure you care about us. I mean, you did, supposedly, directly tell us to come, or well, I said indirectly, but you told us to come speak to you. So, anyways, with Archangel we have Morden, the professor, the two people that we are trying to recruit here, at least beyond Zaid, who we've already gotten to join our team.
I'm looking for Morden Solus. Do you know where I can find him?
The Solarian doctor? Last I heard, he was trying to help plague victims in the quarantine zone. I always liked Morden. He's as likely to heal you as he is to shoot you.
Oh, part of me feels like the part about him that you like is the latter, and not the former.
What can you tell me about him?
Used to be part of the Solarian Special Tasks Group. He's brilliant and dangerous. Just don't get him talking. He never shuts up. If you really need to find him, take a shuttle to the quarantine zone. No guarantee they'll let you in, of course.
Okay, so that's Morden. What about Archangel?
I'm trying to track down Archangel.
You and half of Omega. You want him dead too?
Half of Omega? That's a lot, but it does seem like there's a specific group then that are after him then, and perhaps another half that are not, another group that are not.
Why is everyone after him?
He thinks he's fighting on the side of good. There is no good side to Omega. Everything he does pisses someone off. It's catching up to him.
Sounds perfect. Sounds like our kind of person.
Just the kind of guy I'm looking for.
Really? Well, aren't you interesting? You're gonna make some enemies teaming up with Archangel. That's assuming you can get to him. He's in a bit of trouble right now.
Oh? What do you mean?
What kind of trouble?
The local merc groups have joined forces to take him down. They've got him cornered, but it sounds like they're having trouble finishing him off. They've started hiring anybody with a gun to help them.
Sounds like that might be our ticket in.
They're using a private room for recruiting. Just over there. I'm sure they'll sign you up.
Okay, can you tell us anything else about Archangel?
What can you tell me about Archangel?
Not as much as I'd like. He showed up here several months ago and started causing all sorts of problems. If you make your own laws, which everyone here does, he makes life difficult. He's reckless and idealistic. But he seems to know enough to stay clear of me.
Okay, can you tell us more about specifically which groups are after him?
Which merc groups are after Archangel?
Blue Suns, Eclipse, Blood Pack. They're Omega's major players. Unless they're at war, you'll never see them together. But one thing they hate more than each other is Archangel.
Interesting. So yes, we will hear more about some of the underworkings of Omega, including perhaps some of those criminal organizations. What about you, though? You sure seem to be one who loves to talk about yourself and just wants to get all warm and talkative and open up about all of your deepest, darkest secrets.
Do you hate Archangel?
I
Oh,
don't have
specifically
time
about
to hate,
Archangel.
but I distrust them all equally. For now, I'm happy just to let them kill each other.
Okay. I suppose maybe that makes things a little bit easier for you.
I appreciate the help.
See if you still feel that way when the mercs realize you're here to help him.
Alright, fair enough. I suppose if they're after Archangel, we're trying to help him, then yeah, they may not be too pleased about that, but we should go.
Sounds like I don't have much time to waste.
You've got all the time in the world. Archangel? Not so much.
Okay. So, we get a few updates there for both Archangel and for Morden. And, so Archangel, we now know we should join the mercs, who are trying to basically hunt him down to get to him. Whereas for the Professor Morden, we think that he's in the quarantine zone. And although the game has tried to sort of suggest that Archangel is in a tough position here and that time is of the essence, and, you know, if too much time passes, then he might get overwhelmed by these people that are coming after him, that is not actually a factor. So you can choose to pursue these guys in whatever order you'd like to do so. So you do not need to immediately go after Archangel, even if the game has sort of suggested as though that might be the case. Alright, so that is Aria. Then we're just looking around here on our map. Then we can see a little bit more down here, perhaps, and recognize a name from Mass Effect 1. Helena Blake, you may recall, was the leader of one of the mercenary groups that we were fighting in Mass Effect 1, where we tracked down a couple of people on distant planets, and she was the one who initially sent us on that mission. And then it turned out we went to a third planet, and a third mercenary base saw her and realized, you know, seems as though perhaps she was just telling us to get rid of her rivals so that she could have an easier time doing her job. But we, rather than choosing to fight her to the death, we perhaps at least try to convince her to choose a better life. A life free from crime. So let's see how she's doing.
Commander Shepard? Is that you? I'd heard you were dead. I'm Helena Blake. We met a few years ago. I don't expect you'd remember. You removed 2 criminal warlords from power and persuaded me to retire. I'll never forget it.
Why are you here? I mean, sure, we tried to get you to retire from your life of crime, but you are on what is one of the biggest crime hubs in the galaxy.
What brings you to Omega?
What brings anyone to Omega? Opportunity, success, failure,
Crime.
all of the above. I find this place suits me. I can bring it a certain air of civility, I suppose.
Okay. Did tell you to drop your life of crime. How's that been
And
going?
now you're on Omega. Once a criminal, always a criminal, eh?
Oh no, Commander. I retired. I know better than to go back on my word with you. You convinced me to turn my life around. I'm a social worker now, believe it or not.
Social worker on Omega? How's that work out?
That seems like a hopeless job in a place like this.
Quite the opposite, actually. This place needs it more than most. Doing the good work in a place like this requires that one understand how things truly work, which makes me uniquely qualified.
Oh? How noble of you. Yeah, looks like, perhaps you have found a way to get your act together.
That's more noble than I expected.
Noble? No. It's just that someone came along a few years ago and made me see the error of my ways. You convinced me that I could use my contacts and skills for things other than smuggling and exploitation. I thank you for that.
That's good to hear.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're keeping out of trouble.
Thank you. This is all to your credit, Commander.
Alright, well, in that case,
I
it's
have
good to
go.
see you.
Of course. You must have more important things to do.
And there's a good example of something that obviously directly tied to the actions that we took in Mass Effect 1. We theoretically could have had the option to fight her, as we did many of the other mercenary leaders that she had sent us out to go after. But we chose not to, and we convinced her to drop her life of crime, and there you have it. She's here on Omega in a very crime-ridden world, but still has found a way to, well, choose a much more wholesome, honorable path. Okay, let's continue poking around here a bit. And this takes us back down to the bottom floor. Let's see, nothing over here, but there are potentially additional people here for us to chat with. I mean, we can get some drinks here, but we've got more important things to do right now. Meanwhile, just gonna stare at us like, really, dude? Really? Oh, hold on. Hold on. May not have time for a drink, but we absolutely have time to dance here. The classic Shepard Shuffle. Actually, I think we did have a part where we danced in Mass Effect 1 in Flux. That was different than this, I think. Hold on. I'd like to get a better angle. I wasn't able to change the angle of the camera last time, but I'm hoping this time we can see from... There we go. That's better. That's better. Now we can actually see what Shepard's up to, and it's, well, you know, maybe not the most elaborate of moves, but he's trying. He's doing something, you know? Okay, let's poke around a little bit here. See if there's anyone else we can talk with. And also the music in here is pretty awesome. Now, we'll pass on the dancers. Thank you very much. Let's see. So I believe in this direction. That would take us, what? Oh, this is actually a different way in/out. A different area. And so these are Vorcha. Guys we saw previously, or at least the species that we saw previously. Here are more of them, and the species that Shepard was saying we were seeing a lot of. Well, see, things not looking great down there. So, what I think we ought to do here is, well, I mean, let's just double check what's through this way, but I think for the most part, there's just, you know, another way out to an area. listen to this message.
Thank you message to Alliance soldiers who rescued her. The Tarian terrorist responsible for the attack on the colony, known only as Balak, remains at large.
So that.
Commander Shepard.
Oh.
He uncovered Saren's plan, defeated the Geth army, and died in the final days of the fight. Or did he? Witnesses report seeing him alive on Omega.
I don't know what you're talking about. That first report was a reference to what we did in Bring Down the Sky in Mass Effect 1, which was actually one of the last things that we did in Mass Effect 1, so pretty recent that we went about doing that. And, of course, successfully prevented Balak from crashing an asteroid into the colony of Terra Nova. And Kate Bowman was, the engineer that we saved, was, going to tell us more, or going to, rather, talk about our success, I suppose.
The Asari Republics has ceded its share of defense responsibility to the Turian hierarchy.
And now we're hearing that Destiny Ascension has been destroyed, which of course happened during the battle against Sovereign. The Turians apparently stepped up in the Asari's stead.
Has announced plans for an expansion.
And that was Zoo's Hope that just said they're looking for an expansion, which is another callback to Theros, Mass Effect 1, when we successfully saved the colonists there and gave them the support of both Exogeny and the additional Asari who was mind-controlled by the Thorian. And so, well, that colony very much can fail if you do not support them in that way.
Employ a large force of driven, dedicated Fortune workers ready to address your security needs. We have the largest number of breeding females and unadapted younglings in the Terminus systems.
Oh.
And we can produce Fortune workers to your specifications.
Paid for by the followers of the exalted light of the word.
Okay.
Where did you get that fantastic new visor?
Let's see, is this also a place we've already been to?
But I always thought Hera
Let's take us back in. That takes us back out, rather. Okay. So, at this stage, I think what we ought to do is let's make a point of going for the professor here at the quarantine zone. And in order to find that, I believe they were saying that we were going to need to take a cab of sorts. If I recall, we may find over here at this guy, but I could be mistaken. No? Perhaps not. Perhaps not. In which case, I think we might have actually been going in the right direction previously when we were kind of going through the back areas of Afterlife. Apex Omni Tools. Not remember that being a thing. Let's see. Oh, we've got apartments here, which actually I don't think we've been here before. Have we? Oh, we have. Of course we have. What am I saying? We've been here, but we did not go down here. Yeah, and here you see caution quarantine in effect.
Plague. Nobody gets in or out.
You can't keep me out. I live in there.
I'm doing you a favor, lady. If you go in, the guards will cut you down.
You can't do this. Everything I own is in that apartment.
Private access, or private residence, access design. Denied. That is, I suppose makes sense, given how these are apartment areas. You can't just casually waltz into someone else's abode. But we have the guard here, who is apparently not letting this lady through. Maybe we can have a little more luck than she did, though.
Lost, lady. The plague has the whole zone quarantined. Nobody gets in.
I'm human, you ass. Humans can't get the plague. Now
What?
let me get my stuff out before looters get it.
This thing affects every other race out there. We're not taking chances. Nobody gets in until the plague has run its course.
So you're saying we can't go in?
So you're saying the slums are completely sealed off?
Finally, a human that can hear. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
You can't keep me out. I'm gonna lose all my stuff.
I'm doing you a favor, human. Anybody in the quarantine zone will be dead from the plague or the gangs in a few weeks.
Okay. Well, who do you work for, then? One of the gangs, or someone who's an independent third party?
I didn't think Omega had any kind of law enforcement. Who gave the order to quarantine the slums?
Fresh off the transport, huh? Aria calls the shots around here. She's got her little blue
I
hands
talked to
on every
Aria, thank you
business
very
in this
much.
District. And a plague is bad for business. She hired us to keep anyone from entering or leaving the quarantine zone.
Okay. Well, see, the thing is, we're looking for Morden Solus. We kind of need to find him over here.
There's a Solarian named Morden Solus in the slums. I've got to get in there to find him.
The doctor? Yeah, crazy bastard opened a clinic in the district a few months ago. The Blue Suns weren't too happy when he moved in. I hear Morden's trying to deal with the plague. I wish him luck, but the area is still locked down. Our orders are to wait until either the plague or the Blue Suns kill everyone. Then go in and clean up.
Well, okay, can you tell us a little bit more here about the situation? Maybe starting with Morden's clinic?
Any idea where I can find Morden's clinic?
Not a clue. What do you care? The place is quarantined, remember?
Well, can you tell us about the nature of the plague?
Tell me more about this plague.
That starts out as a cough, then you start coughing blood. And, well, then I shoot you. It affects multiple species. Turians, Solarians, Krogan, you name it. Only humans are immune. And Vorcha, if you count them. An airborne disease that takes down multiple races. Can't let that spread. Hence the quarantine.
Insert cultural reference here. Yes, obviously applicable nowadays, but a lot of comparisons. Though this game, obviously in its initial form, when did it come out? I want to say Mass Effect 2 was 2011? Don't quote me on that. I could very well be wrong, but in and around there. Point being, this game is about 10 years old, so, although the topic at hand, of course, more relevant now than perhaps ever before. So, yeah, is that strange that it works across species, except humans for whatever reason, and Vorcha are immune, and, you notice there, from his discussion, and from a few people that we've talked to previously, that Vorcha generally not looked very highly upon. Sort of seen as a lower social status than basically any other species. You know, he said something like, you know, it's humans are immune and Vorcha if you count them, as if they were, you know, not living creatures.
I didn't think diseases could cross species barriers. Turians and Solarians can't even eat the same food.
Right. Most people figure that it has to be synthetic. Somebody engineered it. And it either got loose, or they're testing it here. And seeing as how humans are immune to the plague and doing a fair bit of looting, a lot of people think humans made it.
Oh, wasn't me? Or then you mentioned the Blue Suns, which I think is a name we've heard pop up once or twice
Who
before.
are the Blue Suns?
Mercenary gang that runs the district. At least they used to. The guys are mostly Turian. I heard the plague hit them pretty hard. Now the whole district is up for grabs. I hear the Vorcha are making a move. Plague can't hurt them. Immune to disease. Just one more reason you don't want to go in there.
More Vorcha, so stay away. Alright, well, you can't stop me. No, I think you should let us in and we'll help out.
Listen, you're stuck here until this quarantine is over. That could take weeks. What you really need is to get this problem solved right now. That's what I do. Solve problems. Let me in and I'll get this district straightened out.
You think you can fix this? Why not? Quarantine is more to keep infected people in anyway. I'll radio ahead, tell them you're coming in.
Wait, you're stopping me, but not them? You son of a bitch.
Sorry.
You don't have a grenade launcher, lady. Get lost.
Fortunately, humans are immune to the plague.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are a team full of humans. They shouldn't affect us much, if at all. Okay, and so now we are technically starting a new mission here. And because we are doing that, that means that we can have the option to reselect our team. So we have Miranda and Jacob still, of course, but we do now have Zaid as well. So let's get some quick info on him. So, he has concussive shots and can use assault rifles and sniper rifles. He is a soldier, a weapons specialist, and so, he can definitely help provide some support fire if, for example, we find ourselves charging directly into opponents and what have you. So he is going to be helpful on some occasions, yes. However, I'm not necessarily sure that this is one of them. I think we may prefer our current team, or team we were just using, between Jacob and Miranda, particularly because you may have noticed some people, or some messages on the loading screens in between different areas that have said before that basically anything fire is particularly good against enemies that can regenerate because it can stop regeneration. So let's just say that's going to be pretty relevant here, and Jacob is our primary source of getting that incendiary ammo. And then Miranda, I think we'll have a good use for her overload in this mission as well. So let's go with those two here. Look for another time to get Zaid involved. And we do still have 1 point here left. And I think we were saying we wanted to save this for putting a couple of points into pull next time Jacob levels up. And then Miranda's got all of her points spent, and same sort with us. So I think we're going to leave this as is for now. And you can see, we obviously loaded up on Champion to get a bunch of additional morality points. But we're, of course, only just starting still, Mass Effect 2, and our Paragon bar is filling pretty quickly. So now, if we're looking at weapons, remember that we did purchase some shotguns here. So we have the default Katana, which is not great, but we do now have the Geth Plasma Shotgun, which is a 3-barreled Geth weapon, firing miniature but potent cluster rounds of superconducting projectiles, and has a longer range than standard shotguns, so that is helpful as well. Two-stage trigger system allows either a quick fire or a charge and release attack, so that means that we can, well, power it up if we have the time to charge it up. And it does have potentially some AoE potential as well. So I think we'll definitely go for that. And then we have the option of either go with the arc projector or the grenade launcher. And I'm not sure which one of these is preferable in this situation. Might be the grenade launcher? Let's go with the grenade launcher on this occasion, I think. Well, yeah. We'll go. The arc projector is newer. We'll try this out. So I think this actually will be one of the more difficult, or significantly more difficult mission than what we've run into thus far. Let's throw the plasma shotgun on for Jacob as well, so it works for all of our squad mates that have access to shotguns, whereas we do not yet have any alternatives for assault rifle, not assault rifle, for submachine guns or heavy pistols in this occasion. So that means no additional options for Miranda or for our secondary weapons on Shepard or Jacob. So I think in that case we're good to go here. But this will be a tough mission, I think. A very tough mission, potentially. Also, if you guys can move so that we aren't completely stuck here, that'd also be great. So let's take a look here. Do we get any updates on our journal? No. On our map, we can't even access that either. So in that case, I suppose we just venture forward here. And, okay, we've got some element 0 over here. We can nab. Don't mind if I do. Another one of the resources we'd like to have, and pick up some additional ammo as well. Let's switch over to our shotgun, since that is the thing that we have upgraded most recently. It is, hopefully, now our best weapon. So, no, we just quite literally do not have access to our map at all. Anything else over here other than the ammo? No, I don't think so. And this is probably worth dropping a save as well, now that we are starting up a new mission here. Oh? Hello? One second. Guys got some stuffs over here. More ammo. Medical station, we don't need the med-gel, so we'll get a little bit extra credits. Can we chat with you? No? Doesn't seem like it. Okay.
Good luck in there. The Blue Suns and Vorcha shooting anything that moves.
Okay. Thanks for the warning, I suppose. Here goes nothing. Are those guys friends? Or are those guys foes? We might be about to find out. The answer is foes. Blue Sun's troopers, of course, we might have potentially had the opportunity to hit them a little bit harder. That is our new shotgun. And we should take cover here real quick. Does appear to be more enemies here. Over there. And so, remember, we can charge up our shotgun. And in doing so, make it more powerful. You could, like, not hang out and cover like that. That'd be great.
Gotcha.
Then again, even if he's not dead yet, which he's not, he can charge. Shoot him in the face like that. Yeah.
Just left the
Running
didn't
course.
actually
Must be
want to
trying
shoot
to
that.
keep the plague from spreading.
We cannot reload because we only have one ammo left, so let's restock a bit here. Now we can. So yeah, this weapon does seem to pack much more of a punch than our previous weapons were doing, but does take a little bit of time to charge up for sure, and it is rather limited. Let's see, in the ammo. Carrying victim.
Human. Should have guessed. Bad enough you infect us with this plague. Now you lack the decency to even wait until I die before you come to steal my possessions.
It sounds like you need some help.
Is there anything I can do for you?
Get away from me, human. Your kind has done too much already. Your plague did this to me. Your feigned pity is the final insult.
We're looking for a Solarian by any chance? You know anything about him?
I need to find Morton Solus.
Humans looking for the human sympathizer. I hope the Vorcha burn Morton and his clinic to the ground. I hope you... I hope... Damn it. Damn you.
Hey, stay
Hold on.
with me. This won't
Let's
cure
help
the
him out.
plague, but it might help a bit.
So that was a Paragon reaction. Give him some Metagel.
You help me. Why?
Because we're here to help.
It's what I do. I don't know if I can find a cure for this plague, but I'm gonna try.
Your words sound sincere. Maybe it's the fever. But as you said, what have I to lose? What do you wish to know?
Let's see, what do you know about Morton, I
need to
suppose?
find Morton Solus.
He has a clinic on the far side of the district. He's taking in refugees, offering to help those infected with the plague. I was afraid to go to him before. He is dangerous, but perhaps he can help.
How is he dangerous?
What makes Morton worse than dying from the plague?
The Blue Suns tried to press him for protection money. He killed them, stunned them with some kind of toxin, then gunned them down. He's not just a doctor. Doctors don't execute people and display the bodies as a warning.
Oh, that's pretty aggressive. Yeah. Okay. What about humans in the plague? We've heard that apparently they are immune.
Why are you so convinced humans are behind
And why do you
this
think
outbreak?
humans are the ones that cause
The
it?
plague is too potent to be a naturally occurring virus. Airborne
Is that a thing,
transmission
though?
across numerous species, near perfect mortality rate. It had to be created in a lab. And since humans are the only species not affected, there is only one logical conclusion.
I mean, it could be the Vorcha.
Aren't the Vorcha immune to the plague? What if they spread the virus so they could take over the district?
Vorcha are immune to disease. A human-created plague wouldn't affect them. But if the Vorcha created the plague, why wouldn't it affect humans? Besides, the Vorcha aren't smart enough to make a virus like this. They're scavengers. Sorry, human. You may not want to believe it, but all the evidence points to your species.
I mean, hopefully you're wrong, but at least initially it does seem like that may be the case. Can you tell us anything else about the Vorcha? We've heard a little bit about them, but haven't really gotten the full details just yet.
You were talking about Vorcha earlier?
Before the quarantine, the Blue Suns controlled this district. But as their numbers fell to the plague, Vorcha moved in. The Blue Suns are fighting to protect their territory. But as the plague spreads, it's only a matter of time until the Vorcha overwhelm them.
Okay. The Vorcha are becoming more of a factor, it seems. And that seems as though the only thing we can talk to this guy about...
I should go.